It all began back in 1971, when Walter Myers first met Grace. They married, built a life together, and raised 4 children, year after year, side by side. Christmas became their family's anchor, and everyone knew it was Grace's cooking that made the day unforgettable. But in 2016, after decades together, Grace passed away. And for the first time, Walter faced Christmas alone. Still, he began decorating the house, trying to keep the tradition alive. He called his daughter Cheryl and asked her to come home for the holidays. She agreed, and even promised to stay civil with her sister, Rachel, though the two of them argued every chance they got. Rachel was overwhelmed with work and raising her daughter Nia on her own. Christian, another of the Myers siblings, was deep into a campaign, running for congressman, but his wife Sonia pushed him to put politics aside, for the family's sake. Their kids, Cameron and Dee, were excited to see their grandfather. Meanwhile, Evan, the youngest Myers, was recovering from a shoulder injury. His coach told him he was cleared, but Evan secretly kept taking painkillers, hiding the pills in his bag. Cheryl's husband, Lonnie, spent most of his time bragging about his old NBA career, handing out his gaming cards to anyone who'd take them. But inside the house, Walter was searching desperately for Grace's famous sweet potato pie recipe. The tin she kept her recipes in was missing, and every attempt at recreating the pie turned into a disaster. Aunt May was the first relative to arrive. Loud, blunt, and honest as ever, she teased Walter about how dusty he and the house looked. It was their first Christmas without Grace, and she wanted to make sure the family didn't fall apart. Christian soon arrived with his family, and, unexpectedly, with his campaign manager Brooks. Then Rachel and Nia showed up, running into Malachi, an old high school friend. There was tension immediately. Rachel revealed she was divorced, and even though Malachi tried to reconnect, she shut him down. Later, she privately told Sonia that she was in law school, but had to pause her studies because she couldn't afford it. When Cheryl finally arrived, she and Rachel tried, awkwardly, to behave. Lonnie immediately resumed his card-handing routine, then climbed onto the roof to help set up the electronic Santa, even though Cheryl made fun of his lack of technical skills. Walter visited the local shelter, feeling Grace's presence everywhere. Helping the shelter had mattered to her, so it mattered to him too. Back at the house, Aunt May cooked dinner, but her unusual mix of dishes scared everyone away, leaving her offended. The family reminisced about Grace's amazing cooking, but the moment quickly shifted into another argument between Rachel and Cheryl. The siblings threatened to check into separate hotels. Walter reminded them of their mother and begged them to stay together until Christmas. Aunt May backed him up, scolding them and demanding apologies. Meanwhile, Evan, missing his mother, continued taking painkillers but acted normal in front of everyone. At church, a woman flirted openly with Walter. Later, the kids asked Lonnie to fix the rooftop Santa again, but the machine malfunctioned, launching him off the roof. Inside, Walter made another failed attempt at the sweet potato pie. And during yet another argument, Evan locked Rachel outside. She tried climbing through a window and got stuck. Malachi helped her, though she protested the entire time. Despite the chaos, the family eventually danced to their favorite songs and put up the Christmas tree. Christian lost a campaign donor but still refused a deal from the Brigham Group, saying it went against his values. Brooks did manage to secure him a TV interview. Evan contacted his friend Eric for more illegal painkillers. Meanwhile, Lonnie met a cashier named Jasmine, who flirted with him heavily. And he didn't mention he was married. Malachi tried again to talk to Rachel, but she kept pushing him away. Nia encouraged her to let someone in. Walter asked Christian to give a speech at the shelter, and he agreed. Later, Evan invited everyone to play football. But Lonnie made it overly competitive and started another fight. Cheryl insulted Rachel's financial struggles, making tensions worse. Christian soon learned a false report claimed he supported rezoning that would hurt the shelter their mother had loved. Lonnie returned to the grocery store, where Jasmine flirted even more. Then Rachel ran into Jasmine, who bragged about her new man, without knowing he was Cheryl's husband. Jasmine even bragged she'd be spending Christmas with him. Annoyed, Rachel invited her to the family gathering. That night, Walter looked over documents. He was planning to sell the house. Rachel opened up to Malachi about ditching their high school prom. She had overheard his friend making a crude comment about her. Not knowing Malachi had defended her at the time, the confrontation turned into a kiss. The next day, Walter confronted Christian about the rezoning and reminded him their mother had once lived in that shelter as a child. Meanwhile, Cheryl put her mac and cheese in the oven. Rachel adjusted the temperature for her own dish, and everything caught fire. Lonnie grabbed a fire extinguisher, and Walter stepped in again to stop the fighting. While cleaning, Rachel and Cheryl found their mother's tin, but the sweet potato pie recipe was still missing. Cheryl broke down remembering Grace. Rachel tried calling Jasmine to cancel her invite, but it went to voicemail. Dee apologized to Walter for the family's behavior as Walter attempted the pie again, this time with a smile. Later, Evan discovered the papers about Walter selling the house. On Christmas Day, Evan announced Walter's plan in front of everyone. The siblings erupted, and Walter finally snapped, saying it was his house and his decision. Evan stormed out, driving while high. Jasmine arrived at the house anyway. Rachel couldn't bring herself to send her away. When Cheryl walked in, Jasmine told everyone she was dating Lonnie, even flashing pictures and explaining that he claimed his sick grandma Cheryl needed care. Chaos broke out. When Jasmine asked to meet Grandma Cheryl, the real Cheryl returned with a gun. The family rushed to stop her as she chased Lonnie outside and fired, missing him. Then, the phone rang. Cameron announced that Evan was in the hospital. The family hurried there. Rachel and Cheryl finally talked honestly. Rachel admitted she admired Cheryl, and Cheryl said the same, and revealed she was planning to leave Lonnie. She asked Rachel to handle the divorce. Walter already knew Evan was abusing painkillers. Evan broke down, and Walter reminded him how proud Grace had been. Christian quit working with the corrupt donors and joined his father at the shelter. Cheryl gave Rachel $20,000 to help finish law school. Malachi returned and asked Rachel for another chance. She got dressed up, and they recreated their missed prom night. Nia filmed them happily. And then, in the kitchen, Walter finally perfected the sweet potato pie. It tasted just like Grace's. Even though she was gone, her presence filled the house. In the end, Walter tore up the contract to sell the home, choosing instead to spend the rest of Christmas surrounded by his children.